It's not always easy, but with support, it does go a long way. Yeah, I have a very, very strong support system. So I think that helps me because if I can't do this, I have a helping hand to do that for me. So yeah, when you have a strong support system and a lot of hands to help you, you do get a long way.
Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Giving Spring podcast. Today we have one of our beautiful guests with us. Her name is Lilla, and we'll be diving into what it's like to be a woman, the different hats that we wear as women, whether it's a mother, whether it's a sister, whether it's an aunt. Even we're gonna dive in more in professional life as well. So stay tuned and enjoy this episode.
Yep.
So before we dive into any of our questions, Lilla, would you like to introduce yourself just to let our viewers know more about you? And yeah.
Hi guys, I'm a bit I need to breathe. So basically I'm Lilla. I wear a lot of hats, but mostly I'm a mother first. I'm a prayer warrior. And I work with community. Most of my projects or what I do, most of my goal set out is community-based work. So yes, that is me in a nutshell.
Oh man, that is so wonderful. And welcome once again.
Thank you.
This is going to be a great episode, and all the questions that we're going to be diving into is going to be quite nice. I'm excited. So do relax and enjoy. So maybe just to start us off, tell us about yourself and then maybe the different roles that you play. You've spoken about being a mother. What else do you do?
Well, in my professional capacity, I'm a financial officer at the Northwest University within the Faculty of Education. My day-to-day is my professionalism within the finance, doing budgeting, payments, that type of thing. And then outside of that, I'm a mom. I'm a very busy mom. I have 3 kids, which keeps me very busy. My eldest does karate, to give you an idea. My second born does cricket for 2 clubs. And my baby girl does dancing and gymnastics. And with all of that, with me being a model as well, I have to juggle all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, a busy schedule.
That's so awesome.
It is.
Wow. So what inspired you to become involved in, as we know, you're involved in cancer awareness. What is that like, and what inspired you to do that and juggle everything with your work at Northwest University?
Yeah, for me, the cancer awareness started, I think it was 7 years ago, when I lost my best friend to breast cancer. So after that, after a funeral, I spoke to our kids and I'm like, guys, we need to do more because our young girls and women are not educated enough. They don't know how to self-test. If they feel a lump or something, they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lump, okay, it will go away. So that is basically where I started with the cancer journey. So yeah. What I do is with Rise to Shine, which is based in Marikana. I do annual workshops where we get professional nurses in to do the talks. We have like games that we play, how to do self-testing, where do you go if you feel something is wrong, and yeah, that's what we do on an annual basis.
Wow, that's incredible. Like, I really liked how you mentioned that, it's not something that everybody is aware of and how to self-test. That's where it starts.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to feel a lump and then immediately think of going to the doctor.
Yeah.
So I really feel like that awareness is definitely still necessary.
It is.
And you are doing a great job and very much grateful for that.
Yeah, and I think it also goes back to like the different roles that we have as women. We like so focus on everything when our body tells us to relax or maybe calm down or like focus on like, maybe we feel certain pain here or there. And it's like we don't take note of it because we have so much things to juggle. So I like how you're saying that, it really took a moment for you to like think and go back and like really, like you say, get the necessary tools that we need in order to self-assess.
Mm-hmm. And just as, this month is like the Women's Month and we are speaking about women and, cancer, breast cancer, what does Women's Month mean to you personally?
For me, I feel a month is too little to celebrate ourselves because we are warriors, guys. We do a lot and we don't even realize it. Like, Yeah, but for me, I feel like Women Month, we need to empower one another and stop trying to break each other. We need to fix each other's crowns without telling the other one, oh, that crown was crooked, I fixed it. So, yeah, we need to start stepping back and helping each other, building each other, and standing together. Yeah.
I like that. I think that is definitely, what we need, and to be united even as women.
Yeah.
To stand with one another, hand to hand, shoulder to shoulder. It's quite a rare thing. I've heard so many young girls say, "Oh no, I like boys because girls are too dramatic, or there's too much drama there." But I really like that you mentioned that.
I actually want to dive a little bit deeper in that. I think a lot of us as women, we come with so many different challenges and backgrounds and things, and we kind of just always impose on one another.
Yeah.
I feel like comparison is like
Oh.
the top that we have to do. Like, it's the first thing that you do when you see another female. How can we change our perspective when it comes to supporting other women? How can we, how are you able to do that?
For me, it took a lot. I was not this type of person. I was an introvert fully. I was inside my bubble, and 4 years back, I just decided to take a leap of faith, and I started my modeling journey at the age of 34 years. So when I started my modeling journey, it was always, am I going to be good enough? Am I this? Am I this? And someone told me, you always unapologetically yourself. And I was like, that's my slogan going to be going forward. Always be unique and unapologetically yourself. Do not try and raise standards because she's better or they doing that. Be you. Even whenever you do something, the smallest little thing that you do just to make someone smile, to give someone a hug, that's more than enough to empower the other one. So do your own journey and just focus on your goals, and do not ever compare yourself to someone else because each one is different, hence their journey out.
I like that. Be you. Like, that's a very powerful statement. I think we sometimes underestimate it, where we trying to compare ourselves, as Siobhan shared. And yeah, being you, really, there is only one kind of you. So being yourself really does also, you leave your own kind of mark on this earth.
And I think there's so many times when you think that the situation that's in front of you only this other person can handle, but sometimes your own uniqueness and your own you bring something new to the table that maybe someone else didn't bring. And so I think that's also what helps us to acknowledge that we all are unique and we all bring different perspectives and tasks to an individual situation.
True.
Yeah.
I love that. And that will make us become a little bit more united at the end of the day.
Yeah.
When we can recognize each other's strengths and work with them. So now, knowing that we have like different hats and different responsibilities, how has it been for you to juggle all of those responsibilities?
Yeah, I won't lie, it wasn't easy, or it's not easy. Like, when school was breaking in June, I literally gave myself like a week off, and I'm like, kids, you're gonna go to grandma. I'm just gonna take leave and be at my house and just sleep and Netflix the whole day. So it's not always easy. But with support, it does go a long way. I have a very, very strong support system. So I think that helps me, because if I can't do this, I have a helping hand to do that for me. So yeah, when you have a strong support system and a lot of hands to help you, you do get a long way. Yeah.
That's incredible.
That's
I
so
think
true.
of like as well. Sometimes I think us as women, we're always striving to be perfect. Like this idea of pick a perfect mother or a perfect partner or a perfect sister, and with all these roles and responsibilities that we hold, we can try our best, but you'll never reach perfection. And I think that's how we hurt ourselves at times.
Yeah. There is times where you feel like I'm not perfect enough, or you set out goals and you don't reach them on your specific timeline or when you set it out. But one thing that we need to learn as human or as women, that you are not perfect.
Yeah.
You are just there, you are created, and push as hard as you can and
Yes.
achieve what you can. And that for me is what I had to learn. It was very hard because I was very hard on myself. He didn't reach just the year ended. I couldn't, like, I have a motivation board. So at the end of the year, I would check my goals and I was like, yo, you only received one or two. And I had to literally take a step back and tell myself, but you achieved so much more than what you actually set out. The smaller achievements, the day to day achievements. So I think, yeah, sometimes we just need to, like she said, relax, take a step back, and just take everything easy.
Absolutely.
And I think that's so difficult for us as women.
Yeah.
Because
It
we're always
is,
just
it
overwhelmed and thinking of, oh my word, I need to do this. I need to clean the house. I need to get my kids ready for school. I need to, like, you know, it's like so much tasks that just sometimes feel overwhelming. But, and I'm pretty sure with all of the different tasks and responsibilities that you have, that there's so many moments where you have felt overwhelming. But how did you deal with that feeling? How did you feel like, okay, I will be able to overcome this feeling and, like, get my work done?
Yeah, what I normally do is I have a routine. So if my routine doesn't happen, my day feels like, oh, it's gonna be dear car. But what I learned over time is that you just need to like take 5 or 10 minutes out, just breathe and just get yourself. And then you look at what task is needed now, what can be done a bit later, and what can be done later. So yeah, like that is part of time management and how you handle your things. But for me, that really works to just take a step back, breathe, and take and see what needs to happen now, and what is the most important.
Priorities is a very it's a good skill to have, to be able to put things in line and be like, this one is more important. And I feel like it would even make you feel happier when you accomplish it. It's like it's what I like to do. I have a to-do list every morning. So every morning I have a to-do list, and I won't lie, I enjoy ticking them off as the day goes. And it might not be something big, but it motivates me to do the next thing.
Yeah.
So I absolutely love it.
And it really feels satisfying to just have to be able to tick,
Like,
knowing that you've ticked everything.
and then you've done it.
So now, unfortunately, sometimes it gets to a point where I have this whole long to-do list, but then I feel like I have societal pressure to tick off everything on my to-do list. Have you ever felt something like that, where maybe societal standards has ever made you tick everything on your list? Like you have to do it all, and you have to do it all by yourself.
Yeah, there was times, I think it was last year, that there was a specific time in my life where I just felt like I'm not doing enough. I just need to push. So I was at a verge of where I would literally knock off at work, and I would keep on working like 2 and 3 in the morning, have like 1 hour sleep, get the kids ready for school. And yeah, I was told like, this is not healthy. This is not healthy. So yeah, hence I'm saying we always try and just satisfy everyone, but at the end of the day, at what cost? At your own health. And what is then going to be the end of the day the result? Lacking your family, you don't have family time, you miss so many milestones. So yeah, there's times where it's rough, but for me, what I've learned is just try and do what you can on a daily basis and be proud of what you did for that day. Even if it's a lazy day, we do get those. But yeah, be proud of being lazy for once in a while.
I like that. You don't hear that often, to be proud of being lazy. Oh, I want to take pride in that one day.
Truly. I was busy, I think during the week or last week, I came across a podcast. It was saying, why do so many of us feel like being bored is such a bad thing, when it's actually so good to just take time, do nothing, just like be stuck with your own thoughts. Because our thoughts are always in like overdrive. We're always busy, and we feel like if we're busy, then we are productive. But sometimes being productive also means taking a step back. And when it comes to taking a step back, sometimes also means asking for help.
Yeah.
So have you ever struggled asking people for help, or even while you're busy helping others?
Yeah, must say I'm the go-to person. So for me, it's a bit hard to ask for help. But I must say I'm very proud of myself. I've grown that bit. So yes, I do now. I'm able to say, listen, I'm stuck here. Could you maybe help me? Could you check for me on that? And yeah, it takes time and it's very hard, but I've learned to ask for help.
I like that. I think that is a skill to ask for help, you know. It's not very easy for everyone to just be like, can you please help me?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I think we even spoke about it last time about how you need to be, it puts you in a vulnerable state
Yeah.
to ask for help. So it is a skill on its own.
And it's something that I think a lot of us really struggle with. Like, there's a lot that comes with the acknowledgement of just thinking, I need help. Like, I'm stuck. So to actually think that and then actually go out and ask people for help when you're struggling, I think it takes some immense amount of power and strength, especially for us as women that feel like we need to juggle so much all the time.
Absolutely. Yeah. So now, taking us a little bit back to the workspace, you know, being a senior in your workspace, and most probably you've have like leadership qualities. For somebody young like me, that's maybe just trying to get into such a workplace, what kind of leadership qualities do you think would be beneficial for me to have?
For me, there's management skills and then there's leadership skills.
Oh.
It's like you mentioned now. Can you ask for help? So, in a workspace, you will need to be able to delegate. And if you feel vulnerable that you're not able to do this task and you can't delegate it, then that doesn't make you like a leader. It makes you a manager because you feel you need to manage everything. So for me, I feel one of the qualities that we should have is being able to ask for help, to be open and honest and be transparent, and letting to know your how can I put it, your employees or your people that you work with, that you have an open door, you are always there, you can listen even though you can't always help. And I feel like in today's society there's so much pressure that you need to do this, you need to be this perfect, you need to. So for me personally, I feel that if you're in management level, you will need to be open and honest, be transparent, and be able to give guidance and assistance, not always just manage. So yes.
I didn't think of it that way. Like there's two different skills. Like there's leadership and then there's management.
Yeah.
I really liked that.
Yeah, I think it also like it really brings out a lot like of yourself. You have to have a lot of confidence, I feel like, to be able to tell people, okay, you know, you have to do this, to delegate and everything. So I like that you mentioned that there's a difference between the two.
Yeah, because if, for instance, let me make an example. If you're a manager, you will always look at your start time is 8. You should arrive at least at 7:45. You leave at 5. You need to leave like 5:15. But if you're a leader, you would, encourage your people. If you have a task, maybe come in earlier, stay a bit later. And that person will feel obliged to say, I'll go the extra mile without issues. But now you're managing me and asking me to come in this times. When I come in at 8, I'm 5, I'm leaving. Whereby you're my leader and I'll probably go till 7 and finish the task at hand. So, yeah.
So I actually have a question with that one. Last week we were discussing about like work-life balance, and we were talking about like sometimes how we sometimes take our work home. And as being like both a manager and a leadership, has there ever been time when you feel like you have to take your work home, or have you balance between like the work life? How are you able to do that, being in such a senior position in work?
Yeah, in the past, I used to take my work home every day with me, and what I've noticed is that it's affecting my house life, especially my marriage. So, yes, as I said, I was at the point where I was working till late hours, early hours in the morning, and I would shout and scream, and so that for me was a very toxic thing to do. So I've tried and not do that. So on that stage, I've grown a bit. I do still take work home now and again, but yeah, I don't do it every day anymore. And I schedule time like when I get home, it's time with the kids, check they do their homework, they bath, cook. And when hubby comes home, it's our time. So yeah. It's not easy, but it can be done and managed.
Yeah, it genuinely can. There's hope.
There's hope for the rest of us. It's still growing up.
Right?
There's hope, don't worry. There's hope.
I'd like to maybe go back to a statement that you shared, when you were talking about leadership, on how you can listen, but maybe not always going to be able to solve problems. What does that look like in your workspace? Has there been a time where somebody has come with a problem and genuinely there was no solution?
There was a few instances that someone would come to me, and what I've learned is that, we are so burdened with a lot. We carry a lot on our shoulders.
Yeah.
Hence, I said that we can't always help. But if you speak about it, it's already a weight lifted from your shoulders.
True.
So, just having that cup of coffee and just listening, not even interrupting or asking questions, just listening is a lot of help that a lot of people often need. So that's what I meant when I said you only help, but don't always give a solution. Because for me, I feel that society is so pressed and feels that we need to be so perfect that we can't even share our really intimate with a friend, because tomorrow is going to be on the socials, or it's going to be a meme somewhere, or did you hear that one, or you see. So for me, I feel just being able to be there with someone, support them, listen, and maybe even give a hug afterwards. So
Wow.
yeah.
A hug goes a long way.
A very long way.
There's a fact about hugs that a human needs 8 hugs a day to cope. 8 hugs a day.
Sure.
How many hugs do we get a day?
No, more like a
Very
week.
minimal.
Very minimal.
Wow, that's interesting. I never knew that. Wow. Okay, you learn something new every day.
You do.
True.
So with having all of this roles, and especially being in such a high position in workplace, has there ever been a moment where you felt like you were doubting yourself, where you felt like you can't do this, or felt like those are always natural human emotions, but have you been able to be confident in yourself even though having self-doubt?
Yes, there were many instances in my journey that I felt like, did I now do this wrong? And then I kept on asking and started doubting myself. And then I would call people like, do you still do this like this? Or is this still the way? And then I would be like, why are you doing this to yourself? You've been here, you know how it's done. So just do what you know what to do. So yeah, for me, I've been there. And it is not, how can I put it? One is very hard on yourself, especially when you start doubting yourself. Am I doing this right? Is this the way it's supposed to go? But yeah, in the end, you just need to find that inner strength in yourself to tell yourself, yes, this is what I'm doing and it's correct. And this is how I'm going to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, that self-imposter syndrome is real.
It is.
Where you sometimes really do doubt yourself. I don't know. Sometimes it doesn't even have to be a big task, but maybe after an argument, you go back and you're like, I should have said this instead.
Yeah.
I should have showed her who I am.
Yeah.
Or maybe whatever I said wasn't good enough. It wasn't strong enough. So I agree. Like, it gets to a point where you need to be confident in whatever you've known. Like, what I know now is enough for now. And that's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, now for me, I'm always second guessing myself, and I was like, was this right? Did I do this correctly? Maybe I should go back and say this instead. So I like to just take a moment to breathe, be confident, know that you got this, even though sometimes it might be, you're struggling with it, but still have that confidence in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And what also help is when you don't understand or when you don't know, you ask. You don't feel ashamed to ask, because once you know that, no one else can take it from you. You will always know it, and that's right. So yeah, always ask.
And it goes back to that, like, being perfect, where we have this, where we think we have to be perfect, where it's like, we're learning things every day. You learn things about yourself every day. You learn new things about the world every day. But take that moment to just recognize that it's okay to ask for help, and then ask for help.
There's power in knowledge, for sure.
Now,
Evan, got me thinking about, the cancer families that you've been working with. What emotional challenges have you seen them go through when per se somebody gets diagnosed or in the process of the cancer, like what is the biggest emotional challenges that you've seen them face?
For me, I've lost personally 3 people very close to me in a very short period of time. So emotionally, it's a lot. It's super much. I remember last year, my Uber driver was attending our workshop, and a week after that, she's like, I'm feeling something. And I'm like, you gotta go. She went to the clinic and they said it's cancer. So yes, and the emotional journey, because she drives me every day, we're talking, and at a point I could feel like she's withdrawing and she's becoming like very quiet. We don't conversate anymore. And I was like, so what's up? She's like, I don't know how to handle this. And then I remember it was a Thursday. Then I told her, no, we're not going home, we're going to your house. And then I asked her to put the kettle on. We made tea and we had a Bible study session. And we prayed. And I told her, like, 'cause she was also studying to become a pastor. And I told her, now is your time to have faith. You can't now give up on God and ask God, why? Now you need to stand strong in your faith. It's as small as a mustard seed, but you need to start believing. And from there, I could see the different changes in her. She was more open. She would speak about her treatments and all of that. So for me, I feel that the word does carry you through all of the emotions. But I must say, it's very hard. Yes, we know they're diagnosed. We know they have cancer. But I promise you, you are never ready for that phone call. Never ever ready. I remember one of the ladies we used to work with together at Nestle. She called me, she's like, come over, we need to drink. It was last year, December. I'm like, you don't even drink anymore. What should I go do at your house? And then I arrived and I could see like something is wrong. And then she told me she was diagnosed with breast cancer and womb cancer. So yeah, it was very hard for me. I literally broke down into tears when I got home because I was there and I had to stay strong. But when I got home, yeah, it was just a river running. So yes, it's a lot that they personally go through, but we as the family or the friends, it's very hard for us as well. But as I said, you need to try and stay strong and keep faith and keep praying.
Yeah, I think definitely it does affect both sides. I think in my mind I was just thinking about like the families only, and as well now also considering the person themselves. Like it's quite a big. It's a big announcement,
It's
as
a
you
big
said.
circle. It's
Yeah.
a big circle.
It
So
is.
yeah,
It is, and as you said, like you're never ready for such. Never.
you're never ready for the phone
But
call.
there's always something that you need to hold on to. Faith in what you believe in does go a long way. So
What it also does is it goes over into another type of cancer, or it spreads through the body.
okay.
Because I know with my Uber driver, she was diagnosed with breast cancer. They went to cut it out, and then they realized it spread to her lungs. That was within 3 months. And after they were treating the lungs, I think it was like 4 or 5 months, it went into a bone marrow. So, yeah,
Okay.
Wow.
that's like, boom, within a year, she passed on.
Is there any maybe symptoms, or not symptoms, but some signs that we as women can look out for in like a younger age, older age, doesn't matter really the age, that we can identify or that we can look for in order to recognize, okay, now it's time to go to the hospital?
It's basically your self-examination that you need to learn to know your body. Even as small as a pimple, like below or under or next to your breast. That can be a sign of cancer, because I remember my best friend called me to say, I have a pimple on my breast. I'm like, please go to a doctor. And the doctor said, no, it's going to go away. And it grew and it had a cyst. And at the end of the day, when they caught the breast cancer, it was already moving over the other breast. So yeah, you need to start learning to know your body and self-examine. I won't say every day, but very often. Because remember, your breast also changes when you're on your cycle.
Yeah.
So there's lumps, but it's not really lumps. It's just your menstrual cycle with all the hormones changing in your body. So yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
It is very, very interesting. And with now that, is there any emotional support that the family and as well as the patient themselves receives?
Yes, we do have, like, we work with Promoter Clinic where they have psychologists there that helps the families to talk about it. And I know cancer treatment is not at Potch Hospital, but in Klerksdorp. And they also have the psychologist there that speaks with the family and the kids and like that, yeah.
Wow, even to an extent to the kids, like
Yeah.
everybody gets, everyone that's affected
Yes, yeah.
it gets catered to. Wow, that's, I didn't know.
I didn't know that either. I just
Yeah.
thought like everything you took go to the hospital.
No, I'm actually looking into my planning for next year is to get together with cancer and ask them to maybe come through, like especially to Klerksdorp, because all the cancer treatments is there, to try and support more, because there is times where you go once a month and once every 3 months. So just to have that backup and have spoken to and all of that. So yeah, that's part of my planning for 2027.
Oh, 2027, please come with blessings and prosperity.
I do receive.
Plenty good news.
Yeah.
So when in regards to a lot of people that are getting diagnosed with breast cancer and raising cancer awareness, I think a lot of people also focus so much on the medical treatment that we forget about the emotional support. How can we show emotional support towards people who think that it's just all medical treatment?
I must say, when you first get your diagnosis, you're like, oh, I'm going to go through all of this treatment. And it's really, really breaking to the body itself. Because after chemo, you get so sick for like a week. And then basically 2 weeks you're fine. And then the other week you go back for chemo. So it's a lot. I think for us from our side to support someone that was diagnosed is to just be there for them, to ask them, because sometimes there's people that stand on their own 2 feet. They do everything for themselves, and it's like we said earlier, to ask for help, it's a lot. So don't ask, can I help? Just like show up at the house, clean the house, make them food. Just be there, and pray for them. So yeah.
Yeah, taking care of that daily tasks that
The small things, because they get immobile for a time. So yeah, it's a lot. And you know how women are. My house is dirty, I need to wash this, I need to do that.
You can't come
And
in,
if you're so sick
can't have
with
guests.
yeah,
True. Very, very true. And well, the question that I wanted to ask was for a woman that is there a woman specifically for you that has inspired you or that has given you that motivation to continue to do what you do?
yes, my mother is my biggest motivation.
Oh.
Yeah, she taught me what strength and resilience are. So I've been growing up, and she's the mother, like she's always like. And the other day she said, I'll be quiet when I'm in my grave. I'm like, yeah, but she's the one that keeps me solid. She keeps my feet grounded. And she's learned me a lot. Like with Rise to Shine, we started Rise to Shine 15 years ago in Marikana. And why we started it was basically to have the kids off the streets, We had drummies, we had the drummy boys. Yeah, so my mother for me is my biggest inspiration, because through everything, she's still there, she's still a rock. So yeah.
Wow. That's
Shout out to
incredible.
the mothers out there.
Period.
Raising especially daughters. Oh wow. It must be tough to have all of that pressure on you. But yeah, that's nice. So for those out there that are watching and that feel maybe they're under a lot of responsibility, and feeling like they're also just juggling too much and they don't have time to just, take away, step back, because it's hard being a woman. I think we can all agree on that. But what is some advice that you can give to, whether it's young adults, young women out there, whether it's women in their 30s and their late 60s, anything? What advice could you give to them? First, I think we talked a lot about cancer awareness. So what advice can you give just as a woman to those that are struggling with different responsibilities?
Okay, so from one woman to another, I would suggest that you start learning to know your body. In the sense that if anything feels off, just trust your gut. You have that sixth sense, and just get it checked out for safety's sake. Yes, and then do not, I know it's a lot, do not let society pressure you, because society will make you go crazy, believe me. It's a lot to carry on your shoulders. And wear all your hats you want to wear, but never forget to wear your crown. And you must keep your head up straight. Your crown will tilt, but do not let it fall.
Oh,
That's so nice. I love that.
wear your crown, little tilt, but don't let it fall.
Yes.
That's wonderful. That's beautiful. Well, thank you so much for sharing all this wisdom. I think we definitely got so much and we learned so much as well. And I'm sure our viewers as well feel that way. Please do as well. Feel free to like, subscribe, and also comment maybe your experiences about the topic. And we just would love to hear from you guys.
And remember, be the spring that gives life to your own soul.